board elected vice president, I would like to call our regular board meeting to order for Monday, April 11th. So please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. The board has received a letter of resignation from Director John Diamond. Per Board 1114, entitled Board Member Resignation and Vacancy, it reads, resignation upon receipt of a director's written resignation. The board will acknowledge and announce the resignation at its next regular scheduled board meeting. The resignation will be effective immediately unless otherwise stated. If a future date is stated, the resignation may be withdrawn anytime prior to the effective date. Board members who have resigned may not vote on the selection of their replacement.
Good evening. In a letter dated March 28, 2022 to Oak Harbor Public Schools Board of Directors, Jessica Oz, Vice President, Bob Hallahan, Eric Mann, Lynn Goebel, and Secretary to the Board, Karst Bransma. Dear Board, this letter is to inform you that I am resigning my elected position at Oak Harbor School District Number 201, Director, Position 4, effective April 4th, 2022. It has truly been an honor and privilege to work with you in serving the students and community of Oak Harbor. This position has taught me many things about service, compassion, and leadership that I will take with me into future community service. I'm happy to call each of you friends and wish you the very best for this board and school district going forward. Respectively, John L. Diamond.
All right, moving on to item 1.05, election of school board president. In accordance with the board policy 1210, if a board member is unable to continue to serve as an officer, a replacement will be elected immediately. And at this time, we will elect a new board president. As a reminder, a roll call vote will be taken for the position of president. So do I have a motion for a nomination of board president?
I move that Ms. Oz becomes the board president.
I second that.
Yes, he's seconded.
And I will abstain. So, and then do we have a, oh, here we go, there we go. All right, and I am happy to accept that nomination. I have some big shoes to fill, but I'm excited for the challenge, even though it is a bit unexpected. And any discussion on this item? Oh, excellent. Okay. So at this time, I will ask for a roll call vote. Will the recording secretary please read the roll and the secretary tally the votes, please?
Director Hallahan, how do you vote?
I vote for Ms. Oz.
I will vote for Ms. Oz.
I vote for Ms. Oz.
And Director Mann?
Director Mann votes aye for Oz.
All right. I will abstain. Okay.
At this time, the ayes have it, 3 votes for candidate Oz for president. Motion carries.
All right. So, all right. And I am now the president of the school board. Excellent. Okay, so we now have an opening for vice president, so this process is repeated. So at this time, we would like to move board vice president. As a reminder, roll call vote will be taken for the position of vice president. So do I have a nomination?
I'd like to nominate Eric Mann as our vice president.
I will second that. Okay. Are there any other nominees for board vice president? Nope. Okay.
Director Mann has accepted the nomination.
Okay. Any discussion? All right. At this time, I will ask for a roll call vote. Will the recording secretary read the roll and the secretary tally the votes, please?
Director Hallahan, what is your vote?
I vote for Ernest Mann.
Director Gogol?
I vote for Eric Mann.
President Oz?
I also vote for Eric Mann.
Eric Mann votes in favor.
And the winner of our vice president position is Eric Mann. Congratulations. All right, moving on. Item 4.02, visitors. This is the portion of our agenda that we regularly allow members of our community to address the board with their thoughts and concerns. The board recognizes the value of public comment on educational issues and the importance of involving members of the public in its meetings. In order to permit fair and orderly expression of such comment, we will ask each speaker to limit their remarks to 2.5 minutes. Written comments are appreciated in the event that we run out of time. Tonight we have approximately 9 community members signed up to speak. And the 2.5 minutes is because we have more than 8 speakers. So I will ask our staff to time each speaker at 2.5 minutes. As a reminder, the board will not respond to public comments, but may refer items of concern to the superintendent and administration for follow-up and possible future board action. At this time, I would like to call on our first speaker, which is Timothy Hazelow.
Thank you. Gotta put my glasses on, I'm getting old. First of all, I appreciate the board allowing me this time to speak. I'd like to talk about John Diamond's resigning and the appointment of a new member. As you know, I'm running for office, so I understand how hard those things are. Some of you know, most of you probably do. So I understand how hard and difficult those things are, and they fought a hard race, and that race could have went either way. What I would like to say is that out of 8,493 votes, Jessica Thompson was right there, and that election could have went with one slip up in either direction, in any direction. So my thought on that is she's proven herself, she's proven that the voters are in favor of her participation in this body. I know it's your guys' initiative, your choice, your application. It's what you have to do is select the next person, and I appreciate that. But what I would really like you to do is to take that into consideration, that within 100 votes or so, a couple hundred votes maybe, that she would have been here anyway, and that the public is already in support of her in a major way. So I'm not going to take the full 2.5 minutes. I just wanted to let you know that I appreciate your consideration, and Jessica seems like the right person for me, and I think she seems like the right person to a large swath of the public. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Second is Jason Umo. Come on up.
Well, I don't think I'm much time. I basically came and sorry, I'm not going to take up much time. Basically, coming to reiterate basically the same point is I believe that Jessica is the choice for the board because basically she has been qualified by the constituency already to be in this position. So John Diamond leaving and basically not serving out his full term, she would be the proper fit to go right in there. And that's basically all I wanted to say on the subject. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Next is Jessica Thompson.
Go, Jessica!
Sorry, your name's on the list. Yeah. Not unless you signed up beforehand.
Of course.
So next on the list is Millie Goebel. Unless you would like to say something. Okay. All right, it looks like we may have had some confusion on the sign-up list. Okay, yeah, okay. That's all right. Okay. I will go through the list that I have, and if you would not like to speak, go ahead and pass. Greg Goebel? Also? Okay. All right, Melissa Richard?
I thought it was a sign sheet, but I was definitely straight.
Here we go.
Hi, good evening. I didn't come prepared with a speech, so I won't take too much time. My name is Melissa Richard, and thank you for the opportunity to speak. However, obviously our entire community is not here to speak up. Jessica lost by about 250 votes when we had an election, and it's quite convenient, nothing against Mr. Diamond, I've known him and his family for years, that he was elected, but now the opportunity exists to put people in positions of your own choosing, vice what the community possibly would have chosen. So, thank you, and good luck.
Okay, thank you. All right. Mr. Hazel, you're on the list next, but you already spoke. Frank Giannino? Also, okay, no problem. All right, and Steve Adams?
No, just
Okay. And Danielle Lamp?
Well, I mean, I can just talk from here.
I have been participating in these meetings for about 2 years now. I have requested politely numerous times for a discussion with the community, with the board, and have been denied at every turn. I have spoken at, I don't know, no less than 10 meetings, whether they're on Zoom or in person, and we talk at you. At the end of the meeting, you thank us for our time and for us being here. But there's nothing. There is nothing in the middle. All we're trying to do is have a discussion as the primary stakeholders of our own children's education and health and well-being. And that is it. I have only been asking for a discussion. And I have been denied numerous times. And I just want to say one more time that I have been very engaged. I have met several of the board members one-on-one, before the meetings, after the meetings, through email, through phone calls. And at what point, what more can I do as a parent of a child in Oak Harbor schools? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you all for your time tonight. All right, next we have the superintendent's report. I'll hand it over to Mr. Walker.
Thank you. I have a short presentation for you, if I may. and 57% of those respondents were in favor of changing those two as well. Overall results, very close. 51% were in favor of changing it to late start, and under students' result, 56 of them were in favor of early release Wednesday. This is just for information only. Administratively, we'll be bringing back to the board for a formal approval to change it from late start to an early release on Wednesday starting for next calendar year. And that would be at our last board meeting in April. So if the board has any questions, I'll be happy to help answer those. I have some staff here that were responsible for the survey, and we also have representatives in the audience from our various associations if you have any questions.
When we switched from late start Monday to early, or to late start Wednesday, early release Monday to late start Wednesday, there were some good reasons. Staff, more energy, bringing to the process, carryover from our COVID practice. So what's different now? What's changed? What didn't work?
I'm going to summarize a little bit, and then I'll have Assistant Superintendent Kurt Schoenfeld and also Schoenberg and also Dwight Lundstrom. What we're finding is that when we have a late start on Wednesday, is we have a tremendous amount of students that actually no place to go, and they end up coming to school looking for a place to pass the time or have a study hall or someplace. And what we find is that we end up trying to accommodate them to make sure they're warm, dry, and supervised. And it ends up being a supervision issue, as well as taking away from the success of having time for staff to get together and team up and do the professional learning communities together in Java-like groups. Many of the spaces are sprinkled with students trying to find a place to land waiting for the start of school. What we have been asked to consider is by changing to an early release on Wednesday is that we don't, students typically have things to do when the bell rings. So they're not, they have either things to do at home or getting ready for after school activities, or eventually taking their work and finding a place to do their homework. And so, by and large, those are some of the key features, and if Dwight and Kurt would like to chip in, I'd be happy to hear your thoughts too as well.
I would add an anecdotal point we've heard from some parents who've got secondary students and elementary students that afternoon works better as far as childcare, because then your older child gets home earlier and can cover things in the afternoon. The mornings were, at least initially, kind of problematic for some of those families as they made that adjustment. So I would add that.
Don't have anything more to add.
Okay.
Looking at the numbers, I was curious when it came to OETA, if there was any difference between high school and elementary in regards to their decision about switching it to late. They're looking at you, Mr. Fisher.
Actually, elementary were the ones who brought this to OETA Rep Council, that they felt that the early release was better. But when we put it out there, there really was nothing distinguishable between the high school and middle school, secondary and elementary. There wasn't anything distinguishable between the percentages. Which I'll be honest, as a former coach of 20 years, I was a little bit surprised that even the coaches, knowing that there leads to some issues with classes at the end of the day, that when you have that late start takes that away, where early release doesn't. So or I think I backed those up around. So, but to answer your question simply, no, there wasn't any distinguishable difference between the two.
Okay. And let me see what else did I, and it sort of looked like our building principals, it was like a 43-57 in their viewpoint. So I just thought it was, if our high school folks had a different thought.
I think in general what the principals are finding is there's a couple things that are lost on a late start. One, they have to release their staff a little bit early so they don't get the full hour and a half for professional development. So they have to release them a little bit early so they can go to supervision, in addition to managing students that come to campus early and figuring out supervision there. And then the part two of that is when all the teachers have to rush right to class, there's no after meeting conversation with either the principal or among teachers with what they've learned or what they've been part of in that afternoon for professional development.
Okay, I guess I was just a little surprised just because I would have thought I would have seen 80 to 20. It was, it's 43 to 57.
I would agree that all the data has surprised me also, that it was so even.
And so now what's next? Are we doing more data? Are we just going to approve this? Are we done with this issue?
We've had some success with the current schedule, and we think it's time to try early release on Wednesday, and then we'll have some data to compare it. But the feedback we're getting from, at least from administratively and from staff members, both certificated and classified, is that switching the two around on Wednesday is the next logical step, and that would be our recommendation at the next meeting to bring a formal agenda item for approval.
Tina or River, do you have any thoughts? Yeah?
So personally, I have late start Wednesdays. It gives me a little bit extra time to do my makeup in the morning. Also does for some extra sleep if I want that. I'm not looking forward to the early release. It won't necessarily apply to me, but I'm the current president of our school's Gender Sexuality Alliance, and we meet every other Wednesday after school. So hopefully my next year's officers can figure that out and pick a different day. I don't have much further opinion on that.
Actually, I have, oh my gosh, this is ringing. Hi. I have a sort of different viewpoint. I've actually really disliked the late start Wednesdays. I feel like I've missed out on a lot of instruction as I have a zero period. And so that has been pretty difficult. And I know a lot of my other friends who have zero periods have missed out on that in classroom kind of engagement, and the scheduling has been interesting. I know I've been late to class the next day on Thursday because I haven't switched my alarm. That's on me. And also I know that Wednesdays are usually my busiest day of the week. I tend to have